All right, on this episode of Oli Oli Paints, we're going to take a look at Milwaukee's brand new electric DA sanders. All right, so like I said, these are the brand new Milwaukee electric DAs. This particular one happens to be a 3/32 stroke or 2.5 millimeter, like a finishing sander, right? So this is good for buffing, prepping, things of that sort. And then my most heavily used one is this 5 mil throw or 3/16. Okay, and both of these have different batteries in them right now, but the kits that you will buy when these become available come with both this 5.0 and one of these CP 2.5 smaller batteries. They are M12 tools, and don't let that discourage you. These things I've been using the whole week, and honestly, the kit that they sell for this, so this battery, obviously being a 5.0, lasts the longest out of the two. But by the time this one's charged up and you go to swap it, once that one runs out, this one's good to go, especially if you have one of these rapid chargers. And I've got Milwaukee batteries for days, so really if you're already invested in the system, like, this isn't a big deal at all. But even if you just buy the kit with a single one of these, you're gonna have enough battery power to go throughout your day. Now, the one that I've been using the absolute most is this 3/16. And the reason being, like, this is just what I'm used to, right? So this is the same as my Matco sander, my Snap-on. Like, I have 3/16, I've always used them. So I use this for prepping everything that I've paint all week long. We're gonna go over to the prep deck. I'm gonna prep a hood with this 3/16, and then maybe we'll try this 3/32 and polish some stuff real quick just for the video. But I just wanted to get a demo video of these guys out. They do have vacuum ports. A lot of guys were concerned about that, but underneath that is a vacuum port. I'll show you. These right here are the attachments. Let me kind of stick it on there and show you how this works. So this will attach up at the underside just like that with 2 screws, and then your vacuum port comes out the side. Now, here's my complaint with that. I don't like that it comes out the side, and I think I know why they did it, but let me pop this one on real quick. So Milwaukee, I would make one that just goes straight down. I know the Bigfoot batteries, like, it comes close, but you can literally whoop around that thing and just make it come straight out the bottom of the sander like that. To me, makes way more sense. It's way more comfortable, because then you have dustless sanding at a fraction of the price when you use, say, an M18 6-gallon vacuum. I mean, then you don't even need to plug it in at all. You just pop batteries in and go to town, right? So I'm hoping that Milwaukee will make one that just comes straight out. I'm going to make this side exit work, but it will just make it that much easier. They could actually compete with Festool and Mirka systems if they make that simple adjustment and maybe come up with a hose that's really lightweight to counter those two. I mean, realistically, if they came up with, say, adapters or blocks, they could add to this dustless system, and then you just have a completely mobile dustless sanding like that. That would be 100% ideal. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and go prep this hood with this 3/16. Currently, I've been using this all day. It says I have a full battery. I'm gonna guess that I'm gonna lose a bar or two doing this hood, but let's go find out. All right, guys, like I said, we've got a brand new hood here. I have 400 grit. Typically, I would have a mask on. For this one, I'm gonna just go ahead and raw dog it, just for the sake of being able to talk to you guys. But we'll just go ahead and start sanding this. This thing does have a progressive trigger as well, just like any other air sander. So it's not unfamiliar at all. And once you start working with it, it feels foreign not having an air hose attached to it. But I'll tell you right now, you get used to that pretty quick, and it's pretty nice. It's freeing. But it cuts just like any old DA sander would. Get this hood all prepped up. Job that I've got in the booth, I had to seam seal this one, so I got that done. I'm just gonna get this thing all DA'd and ready. But we'll see what this battery life is at the end of this. I have been using this sander all day long, so I did swap to this battery I think at about 9 o'clock this morning. What does it say? Yeah, I'm already down 1 bar. But keep in mind, I have used this on a previous job. I can go up a little higher. This is your speed control, right? So that's maxed out. Maxed out is too much. Right in the middle. Perfect. So I mean, it's identical feeling to any old air sander. I have to block that. Got some gunk on there. But it feels identical to any air sander that I've ever used. So for you guys that are trying to prep like your own paint job or whatever at home, this is gonna be the ticket, because I don't know if you've ever tried to prep a car with, say, like a 5-inch like plug-in type sander that people use for wood. It is not even close to the same thing. You don't have the power. I mean, it's just, it sucks. This will give you back that oomph you've been looking for. I'm putting some pressure down on this. I mean, I'm probably draining the battery a little bit more, but I'm trying to get this E-coat nice and smoothed out. So this side, yeah, it still says I have 1 bar down. I mean, not 1 bar of power. And this is the smaller of the two. I always find it funny, like, everybody, how long does it run? How long does it run? It's like, realistically, if you're set up and you've already got Milwaukee tools like that, does it matter? Yes and no, because for something like this, I mean, I've been sanding for a few minutes now, and everybody thinks that it's you can only go for a handful of minutes and it's just gonna die. It's clearly not the case. We're halfway through. We'll make it. We'll make it. Battery technology has come a long ways, man, and the CP25s that they're sending with the XC50 battery, like I can't remember the exact reason they were so different, but I can tell from personal experience that they have a little bit more power. So like these feel more like the old XC 3.0 and 4.0s, like as far as how long they last. My sandpaper is already starting to die. Let's grab another piece. Oh yeah, this sandpaper's roached. Yeah, these 2.5s last a good long while. I like to run the 2.5s in my mini buffer as well. I know a lot of guys were really disappointed that they didn't make this an M18 tool, but I'm pretty glad that they didn't, because it's just the right weight. Feels pretty good in use. It doesn't feel heavy, but it also doesn't feel like a cheap toy, you know? If you make stuff feel too light or just not have any substance to it, then it just feels cheap. And this certainly does not. And like I said, guys, if you have vacuums already, I mean, you could hook this up to a vacuum. It's not going to be ideal. I do wish that they would make a straight out the back port for it. And maybe like an adapter pack, so you could run this with different shop vacs of different sizes, you know what I mean? Okay, so we are 2 bars down. We're gonna make it through the whole hood on this battery, I think. I mean, I'm using it just like I would my air sander, you know, I'm pushing down, and I'll just take you guys through the whole thing. And I'm not cutting any of this. This is all just one shot. So you guys can see that the battery's actually making it the whole way. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. We'll swap it. Yeah, just the mobility of this thing is super nice. Not having that air hose stuck to you. We're almost done. I will say that the tool is getting warm. Not like abnormally. It's not hot, but it's just been in constant use, so it does generate a little bit of heat. Honestly, it's no more heat than like if your DA sander was running this entire time either. And there we go, we made it through that whole hood. Let me get this all cleaned up. We'll go over to the other side. Maybe we'll find something to buff at the other one. Like I said, let's see. It's got 2 bars left, so I might just go swap the battery just so the next job I've got a freshie ready to go. I will say also, these tangs in here, like these retention tangs, I don't know if it's just like the pre-production ones or the pre-sale ones that are this tight, but getting this battery out it's tight. It's tight, and I'm sure that's going to get looser over time, but it's definitely tight. Yeah, see, I've got another CP 2.5 over here, so that's perfect. Pop that in a rapid charger, and we're good to keep going. So let me get this all cleaned up. We'll go to the other side and we'll buff something. All right, guys, so I lied. I don't have anything over here currently that needs buffed, but I figured I would explain the differences between the 3/32 and that 3/16 for everybody that doesn't understand the difference. The stroke, okay, this is one of the easier ways to put this, okay? So we've got 21 millimeter throw, 15 millimeter throw, 2.5, okay? So this, when you're talking about DA sanders and polishers like this, random orbit polishers, they spin, but then they oscillate, right? So this is not only spinning, it's also doing a small oscillation at the same time. That 2.5 refers to how far it's oscillating. So the finer the throw, the more controlled and slower the sanding is, right? So like a 21 millimeter throw polisher is going to cut faster than a 15, but the 15 is going to be easier to get into tight spaces and more controlled than the 21. So this is really good for big broad areas. This is really good for tight, really small areas. The 2.5 sander versus the 5, this is going to be geared more towards your detailers, painters like myself, but at the same time, I actually prefer a 3/16 when prepping. I just enjoy and I'm used to the fast cutting aspect of it, but I do really appreciate the 3/32 for the detail side of it. So anytime I'm nibbing and polishing, I'm using this one simply because I don't need that speed of cut. Okay, so if you're a painter and you already use a 3/32, so like this snap-on right here, this is 3/32 or 2.5 millimeter fine orbit, right? So this was my detail sander for a long time. Now it's this. Again, the benefit, I don't have to have this air hose hooked up to it. I could do this at my house. Same with these brushless polishers. Like I can use these without needing an electrical cord. It works out fantastic. There's one more feature about these that I wanted to show you guys that comes in the kit. And this is honestly pretty slick that Milwaukee does. So if you look at the side of this, there's this little tab here, okay? So you're gonna push down and then pull up on this. You hear, I don't know if you guys heard that click. Now it locks the spindle so you can spin the backing plate off. You do not need a tool to swap from Velcro to PSA, and the PSA comes with it. So if you guys are PSA sticky back users, simple as just pulling that collar and then spinning the pad on. And then once you get it stuck on there nice and tight, push this in, it locks in. Now you're good to go. Now you have PSA instead of Velcro. So if you like PSA, by all means, they got you covered because it comes in the kit. It's as easy as that. I thought that was really cool, and I really like the fact that when you buy the kit, you get both. because I use most of the time this hook and loop, but at home I do have a lot of sticky back sandpaper, so I'll just bring this with me, you know. And side note, this is like the hose adapter for Milwaukee hoses, so this would go in like so. Then your vacuum hose would sit there. They do have one that kicks off to the left. The left I feel like would be more comfortable for me, but this is pretty cool because it does just have the simple pull lock setup, right? So you just pull the tab and it locks on. Nice and sturdy. And it does come with bolts when you do want to put a vacuum port on, but again, I really hope Milwaukee just comes up with a way to do it this way, straight out, because that's more traditional, like dustless sanding. And I think that they really could change the game as far as dustless sanding if they just simply made that addition, because you can buy dust bags for their vacuums. But yeah, I hope to see that from them, because that would be so cool to be able to use this like a dustless system. And all right guys, I know that was a short video, but I did want to get something out there. I have used these all week, and so far so good, man. Besides that one issue I have with where the vacuum port is, these are pretty dang impressive. I mean, are they long time use, as in you're gonna prep 5, 6, 7 panels all at once on the same battery? Probably not. You've seen it took about 2 bars away from our 2.5 doing that hood. With the 5.0 battery, I can go through a whole job. So if I'm doing like a hood, roof, quarters, stuff like that, I can go through the entire thing with just a 5.0 battery, and I have enough power. So battery life really isn't a deal breaker for me. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about these. Are you guys gonna pick these up? You think they're gonna be worth it? I know for mobile guys, this is gonna be awesome because you don't need an air compressor for these. So I'm just waiting for the day that they come out with a battery powered paint gun. That'd be, I don't doubt that that's coming down the road. I mean, I just flat out don't doubt that it is. So anyway, I will catch you guys on the next video. Links to not this tool yet, but other tools and stuff that you guys see on the channel are going to be down in the description below. And yeah, if you guys enjoyed this one, consider hitting that subscribe button. There's a little bell if you want to be notified when new videos come out. Yeah, until next time, I'll see you later.